Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk through how I do a 2-colour lino print or a reduction lino print. I'm completely self-taught, so this is just what's worked for me, and if you have any tips or anything, please let me know in the comments. I'm also going to talk through all of the supplies that I use and everything. I will try and leave as much as possible linked in the description down below. For this lino cut I used a pencil, tracing paper, essdee lino, Pfeil carving tools, Cranfield safe wash relief ink, a Japanese hard rubber roller and a piece of perspex acrylic that I use as a palette, and finally paper. I have other videos that go into more detail about all of the tools that I use and what I would recommend. But I started off by transferring my drawing onto my sheet of lino using tracing paper and tracing the design using a pencil. If you don't have tracing paper, you can always draw straight onto the lino. I previously had planned how I wanted the final print to look, so I knew what areas to carve. I wanted the sun and the details of the vase to be white, so I'm going to carve those away first. I started carving using a small U-gouge file tool, removing sections of the lino from my design that I wanted to be white in my final print. If you don't want any white in your final print, you will need to skip this step and print the sheet of lino before you start carving. For this block, because it is small, I made a really quick registration device. I took a plain piece of A4 paper and then placed the paper that I intend to print on top of the piece of A4 paper, and then I traced round the outside using my pencil. Then I took my piece of lino and placed it in the middle of the rectangle that I just drawn, and then I draw around the piece of lino, creating a smaller rectangle in the middle. The reason I do this before I start printing is so I have a guide for where to place the paper so it covers the lino in the same place. So when I'm printing the different layers, they all line up correctly. There are other ways to do this, but this is a super simple, easy way to create a registration device without having to buy anything extra. Once I've done that, I rolled out my ink. I like to mix a few different colours together, but I almost always use Cranfield Safe Wash Relief ink. Once I've rolled out my ink to a nice consistency, ensuring that there is a good coat of ink on the roller, I roll the ink evenly over my lino block, making sure it's all covered. Then I place the block of lino in the centre of my registration device, ensuring all the edges are lined up. Then I line up my piece of paper along the side and place it over the lino and smooth it over with my hands. Then I apply pressure with a metal teaspoon. Alternatively, you can wash the roller and apply pressure using that, or you can use a barren or also a wooden spoon as well. Once I've applied pressure to the whole surface of the lino, I remove the paper and I have the first layer of my print. I decided to print this first layer in 2 different colours, and I printed a run of 5 of each colour. It's important to make sure that you have enough prints of the first layer, because once we carve the lino again, you won't be able to get the same print. I also like to print a couple of extras in case I mess up or the registration is off or anything like that. Then I wash the block of lino. Because I'm using Safe Wash Relief ink, it can be washed just with water even though it is an oil-based ink. Then I'm ready to carve the rest of my block. Because I'm only printing 2 layers, I carve away the rest of my design. Once I've finished carving, it's time to print the block again. I decided to use a darker blue ink because it will show up nicely against both background colours that I used. I use the registration device to line up my lino and add the paper that I've already printed on. Then I apply pressure the same way using a teaspoon and peel away the paper. And you have your finished 2-colour lino print. If you want to add more layers and different colours, you can simply repeat the process, carving away a little bit each time and printing in a different colour. This is how you create a reduction lino print. So I really hope that you found this useful. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you really soon with the new one.